Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Becki Gray and Brad Crone. North Carolina has 170 alcoholic beverage control boards, and their 433 state-controlled liquor stores sell more than $1 billion in revenue annually, generating some $430 million in tax revenues. Most goes to the state. Now, a growing number of people say the state shouldn't be in the liquor business and could generate even more tax revenue if we took the liquor stores and privatized them. Others say, why fix a system that isn't broken? Becki, what do you say?
I say we privatize it. I don't know why the state's in the liquor business at all. I mean, we're not in the bread business or the sugar business or the chocolate bar business. Why in the world are we in the liquor business? Most states do not have the same kind of system that North Carolina does. And we ought to get out of it and privatize it, turn it over to the private market. I agree, lots of numbers have been run on this, and the potential for making actually more revenue is with privatizing the system.
Yeah.
So, I think it's way past time. And Tom, a lot of these ideas are slow to move. This isn't something that's just come up. Actually, in 2009, I think Beverly Perdue was talking about privatizing to get additional revenue, to get the state out of the recession.
We started talking about
so, I mean, this is something, and there's been a bill that's been filed this year. Representative Chuck McGrady has really led that effort. The bill has been filed. It's gotten at least one good hearing in a committee. Now, we don't think it's going to go anywhere this session, but it certainly tees it up for discussion
but this is Chuck's
moving
swan
forward.
Song. I mean, he won't be there after this session. What do you think?
Tom, the reason you have the system that we have, it was built after Prohibition.
Yeah.
And you know who was running the state in the 30s and the 40s. We were a moderate to conservative state then. The Christian element was running our government, and
Christian Action League,
Coy Privet. And we had a huge debate in the 70s whether we would even allow liquor by the drink. Yeah. So there is history there on why we have the system that we have. Is it outdated? Yes, it's outdated. Can we do more with revenue through Walmart and through CVS and Walgreens with access to spirit liquor? Yes. Do we need to make sure that there is less access for underage people to access spirituous liquor? Yes. So I think we can accomplish it.
Well, so why aren't we? I mean, again, we've been talking about this since 2009. Why hasn't it happened?
I think the local boards are very politically active. They are respected. They do a relatively good job.
It's a pretty good appointment in most
good
counties.
appointment.
Right, and there's a bunch of them, 170. But I think it's two things. One is the money, which is so many of these things. That's what it comes down to. And there is a concern that some of the money that goes to local governments will be shut off if it's just distributed through the state system. Now, in this proposal that Representative McGrady has, and there's certainly room to tweak that and make changes to it, but it would allow
the money will
for
follow
that.
The sales.
Yes, and so it would be a revenue neutral at least for the counties. But that's one of the concerns, is that the local governments would lose revenue in this deal. But there's a way to fix that. And then the other thing, as Brad kind of alluded to, in all of these discussions, the law enforcement part of this is absolutely part of the reforms. There's no talk of loosening any of the regulation, any of the law enforcement, any of implementing the laws as they stand, if not even looking at additional.
So you're making this wonderful case why we should do it. Why aren't we doing it?
And as people watch this podcast, I think we'll see this thing move, right, Brad?
We talked during the show last week, Tom, about the last segment to tell us something we don't know. There's a candidate running for lieutenant governor out of Charlotte who said, you need to modernize your liquor system and use the control boards that you have in place right now to legalize marijuana, and take the ABC stores that are selling spirits and turn them into cannabis centers. That would be on a local vote.
Oh, doggy, all right.
That will be a big issue that's coming up for debate for sure.
So it looks like just
so we're going to have another 20 years of NC Spin, as it looks like.
Right, but so that makes the case of, if that's one way to go, then another option is just privatize the ABC systems. We'll look at the marijuana thing later. Take it one step at a time.
What is it they say? Don't take on more enemies than you can fight at one time.
Yeah. Right.
I think you're right. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.